A football Friday, looking at training camp in the National Football League, media days in college football, stays a football Friday, but with Olympic soccer conversation, live right here on the early line on SportsGrid. From Sporting News, Mike DeCoursey joins us here on this Friday to look back at the Olympic opener for the U.S. women's national team and what is ahead for the men's national side at the Olympic Games in Paris after a 3-0 defeat to France in the opener on Wednesday afternoon. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on this Friday morning ahead of the opening ceremonies this afternoon in Paris.
Oh, happy to do it.
Mike, we've had some action before the actual opening ceremonies at the Paris Olympic Games because of the soccer tournaments getting started. Yesterday, the United States women's national team with an easy opener over Zambia. As was expected, they were a minus 3,500 money line favorite. The United States wins 3-0. They scored early and often led by a wonder goal from Trinity Rodman. But, Mike, just because they win 3-0 and they were the heavy favorites to do exactly that in a lopsided opening match, what did you make of the Americans' opener in Paris?
There were some good elements of the game. Some really incisive passing that was nice to see that had been missing from this team for a while. Rose Lavelle coming back and playing 45 minutes was a good sign after she missed the final friendly in advance of the Olympics with an injury, and that was an important component of how it went. She only played 45 minutes because she only had to play 45 minutes. I did think they missed some opportunities to make it a much more decisive victory, and in Olympic soccer, just winning, and in any major tournament, just winning isn't always enough because you have an other power in Germany that you play in your next game on Sunday. And if you beat Germany, then it doesn't matter that you blew 4 or 5 chances against Zambia to make it worse. But if you draw, then it could make a huge difference. And that's why I thought that yesterday's performance against a team that only had 10 players for the final 50 or 60 minutes of the game, only getting 3 goals was a major miss.
Mike, if we take a look and maybe reset the market here after a game, or should I say a day of games here from the women's side, Spain's a plus 175 favorite. The U.S. is a 2-1 favorite. Did anybody give you a positive outlook yesterday? So, you know what? Maybe I didn't expect this, or I liked what I saw yesterday out of these group pairings.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what to make of Australia with Sam Kerr injured, but the fact that Germany was able to beat them as decisively as they did, 3-0 there, and Australia is a top 10 opponent. The U.S. beating Zambia 3-0. Zambia is rated 64th in the world. Australia has been a factor in a lot of major tournaments. And again, they are missing their absolute best player, one of the best in the world, with Kerr being injured. But to take them apart as they did is a really positive sign for them. And I think they have to have a lot of confidence going into Sunday's game in Marseille against the Americans.
Mike, we had Kyle Bond from Sporting News on the show the past 2 days to preview both of the Olympic soccer tournaments, and he has shared the frank reality of women's international soccer. The United States used to be leaps and bounds in front of many nations. The world has caught up. We were bounced from the recent World Cup in the knockout round. We only finished with a bronze medal at the Tokyo Games a few summers ago. Spain now leapfrogs the United States as the favorite to win the gold medal in the women's soccer tournament at the Olympic Games, plus 175. The U.S. was a couple of cents in front of the Spanish side entering yesterday's opening matches. Now let's go to the men's youth tournament that we know at the Olympic Games that got off to a wild start with Morocco and Argentina on Wednesday afternoon. And for the Americans, they opened against the host nation in the gold medal favorites in France. And France won 3-0. So a game for the United States tomorrow that is potentially a must-win against New Zealand. Right now, the United States, Mike, a minus 170 money line favorite. Do you agree with that sentiment? Is this a must-win for the Americans to advance in Olympic soccer?
Well, I think they have to look at it as a must-win because there are probably some mathematical ways they could do it without it. But if you're going to advance and matter, you have to be able to go out and beat New Zealand. I did not like a lot of what I saw on even though they hung with France, didn't go down into Lacazette's terrific goal in the second half. I thought that they missed something, and I still go back until they do something in the absence of Diego Luna, create something in the absence. Even if they don't win, if they create something. I mean, we saw Dominic Maguire out there basically stranded because nobody could connect to him. Dominic Maguire, the striker for the U.S., had almost no service at all. Luna's the best creator in the young American soccer division, and he may be the best creator America has at this point, even considering the senior side. And they left him at home from this Olympic team, even after he'd been terrific in the qualification tournament, the regional U20 tournament that got the Americans to the Olympics for the first time since 2008. Marko Mitrovic decided to leave him home for whatever reason, has never fully explained it. And that they did hit a post on an opportunity off a free kick, and they did have one shot from outside the box go off the crossbar. But that's not the same as connecting with your striker and giving him legitimate opportunities. So until I see something in that range, something that shows that they can connect the midfield to the forward line, I'm going to be skeptical about how far this U.S. team goes.
As we talk about expectations here, Mike, also, because in the tournament itself, France is the favorite at a plus 175. Team USA did go up against France and lost 3-0. What are reasonable expectations looking like moving forward for Team USA in this tournament? Is it to win a couple games, get to the knockout stage? Like, what would Team USA walk away with this Olympic, tournament and say, you know what, that was pretty good. Let's get a head start on what we need to do next?
Until you see who you play in the knockout rounds, you can't say, well, they have to make a semi or they have to win a medal or whatever, because you don't really know. But they absolutely should win the next two games if they want to feel that this tournament was a success. And the other element, honestly, of it that's really important is finding players. That's what the Olympics is really all about. If you go back to 2008, they had a disappointing result. They had a great chance against the Netherlands in 2008. To get a result, and they let that get away in the final stages on a free kick. But they also got out of that tournament Stuart Holden, who went on to be a significant player for the U.S. before he was hurt, and Maurice Edu, who played very well in the 2010 World Cup. So there are players out there, perhaps, that can find themselves in this tournament and show that they're capable of being senior national team players. No one did that at all in the France game. But that's really an important component of what being at the Olympics is about.
You saw the odds there for the U.S. in terms of winning gold, tied for the 10th best price alongside Israel with a 42-1 number, 16-1 for the Americans in Group A that features France. Their next match tomorrow morning against New Zealand and Guinea as well. Outside of that, Mike, as opening ceremonies get started today in Paris, what other sports are you looking forward to at the Olympiad?
Well, I am a basketball person, so I'm very intrigued by what happens with the men's national team in France. They did not look great a lot of times in the 5 games that they played in advance of this tournament, but they did not have Kevin Durant yet. And I wasn't happy to see Tyrese Halliburton's role diminished. Halliburton is the one guy on this team that will pass first. Maybe LeBron beyond that. But there's not a lot of pass first guys. They need to be more connected than they were in those 5 exhibition games.
Certainly so. Tyrese Halliburton barely played in the final 2 exhibitions. Steve Kerr's decision, it would seem, at this moment. Mike DeCoursey from Sporting News, we appreciate the time. Enjoy the opening ceremonies on this Friday over in France. We'll talk soon. More on the early line comes your way up next.